welcome to step number 5 in the Veridian 8-step process. This is Meredith Burkich, member of the Veridian corporate executive team here, and I have got some wonderful guests to talk to us about step number 5, which is show the program, and I would like to introduce them to you for our time together. I have with us Platinum Ambassador and our top income earner, Joe Occhio-Grosso from Basking Ridge, New Jersey. Hello, Joe.
How are you guys doing today?
We are doing well, even better since you're on the line with us. And we also have Senior Director Mike and Deb Mazzero from Forked River, New Jersey. Hello, Mike and Deb.
Hi, Hello Meredith. There, Meredith. Hello, everybody.
And we also have, last but certainly not least, Senior Director James Lenhart, who is currently transitioning to his new home in Chicago, Illinois. Hello, James.
Hello, hello, hello.
All right. Well, in our time together, we're going to spend the next 20 minutes or so talking about Show the Program, which is a really important part in our 8-step process because, of course, this is where you actually get to introduce your prospects to Veridian, to the culture, to the mission, to the vision, to the product, and, of course, to the income opportunity that we have here. So without further ado, I'm going to go ahead and get started and interview some of our people here. And before we do, though, I'd like to hear from them a little bit about themselves so that you can understand how deep their experience and their value is to this conversation. Let's hear from you first, Joe. Tell us a little bit about you and why you are with Veridian.
Thanks, Meredith. I got started with Veridian about 18 months ago. I'm a small business owner in Morristown, New Jersey. My partner, Frank and Bart, we own a title insurance agency. And I'm involved with Veridian for a number of reasons, and it's really is the residual recurring ongoing income from month to month that attracted me the most to it, and the fact that it's a product I can believe in, which is, cleaning up the air for our children.
That's a great reason to be here, and we are so glad that you are. Mike and Deb, the two of you, why don't you give us a little bit of your background and how you heard about Veridian and what prompted you to join us?
Sure, Meredith. This is Mike Mazzero. I'll talk first. But we actually have about 20 years in the industry, in the direct selling industry. And we were actually looking. We were looking for a new company to be with, and we were invited to a meeting. Went to see that meeting. It was a small group meeting, and after it was all over, to Joe's point, we were excited about the residual income, getting paid perpetually for doing something once, and also the energy industry. I was a boat captain and delivering boats, so we knew a lot about what was going on in the green energy industry, so that got us excited, and most of all, the market, realizing that although it was deregulated for a number of years, the market was wide open, and we got excited about the possibilities of that.
Hi, Meredith. This is Debbie, and like
Deb.
Mike said, hi. He saw the presentation first, and he did a great job and listened to some recommendation and got me to the meeting next. And I went to a little bigger meeting, like a hotel style, and saw the program overview. I met some of the leaders, and they answered some of my questions, and I had fun. So I was like, hey, why not? Place to go, have fun, and make money and get to meet some other people. And so we just kind of looked at pros and cons of why not building a business, made a family decision, and just started running with it. And we're excited about it.
That's awesome, and it's a lot more fun of a company because you're in it, Deb, let me tell you. And last, hey, James, you've got a real unique story and a unique background. Let's hear from you.
Yeah, Meredith, how you doing? I come from a finance background. I have a lot of experience in direct selling. So when I was first introduced to the business of Veridian, I was given everything the company had at the time, the full compensation plan, everything, because I had experience in the industry. And I really sat down and picked it apart and really researched it. And I actually signed up right away into Veridian because I saw the scope of it and did a lot of research on deregulation and green and things like that. And I really loved the concept. But what really built my belief in the company was getting to events. I think in the first 2 months that I was in Veridian, I probably went to at least 15 to 20 events all throughout the state and actually other states too, just to learn more and see other people do it. And that's what really built my belief in the company, was getting to each event. And what I can say, kind of a little disclaimer, is that giving someone all the information we have won't work with 99.9% of the people that you talk to on a daily basis. But because I had experience in network marketing and I understood compensation plans and things like that, That's what I was given, and but what really built my belief was getting to events.
Well, and that kind of summarizes the fact that you are indeed an overachiever, James, and you have certainly overachieved in your success in this business as we continue to celebrate with you. We're enjoying watching all of that. So, well, let's go ahead and get started with our time together. And showing the program again, a very, very important part, and you've each kind of summarized the different ways that you've heard about Veridian, what we have going on here. But what I want to ask, I think, is, we've got new people listening to this. If you're have this CD plugged in your car, you may be hearing this for the first time. You may be new to our industry and don't really, know a lot about anything right now, and you're just learning. And so, Joe, I'd like to go ahead and start out with you as we get rolling, which is, we have new people on the line. How soon is it that they should feel ready and start showing the program? And really, what are the steps that they need to take to be best prepared for it?
Well, I'm a big believer in, showing the program as soon as possible. And, what's great about the tools that we have and the support is that you don't have to be an expert in energy, or you don't have to be an expert in even Veridian to show the program to someone right away. So whether it's that night or that day or just bringing someone to a hotel event, I'm a big believer in just sharing this business model to as many people as possible. And let them see it. The smarter the person, the more successful, the more entrepreneurial, the more they're going to like it. So as long as you have some up-team support or, someone who's available for a phone call to answer any questions, I've seen people show the plan, within 48 hours and get 3 or 4 or 5 associates within 3 or 4 days, and they still don't really understand the comp plan. They don't understand how it works. They just get it. They get the fact that it's green energy, that it's direct selling, and it's a very powerful program.
Well, and I think you bring up a good point, too. Being able to share it, it's really about word-of-mouth advertising. I mean, things that we do every day. You don't have to be an expert, but if you've met something, if you've used a product, if you've seen a movie or read a book, and it talks to you, you're very well qualified to share your excitement, with other people. And so really appreciate you saying that. And I'm going to, just kind of want to hear from all of you at this point, because for our listeners, they're kind of getting the impression already that there's a lot of different venues that they can use. And so we just like to hear from each one of you about what venues you personally choose and why, and of course, why it's important that we have these available at our disposal. So James, let's go ahead and start out with you.
Yeah, I think thanks, Meredith. I think the one thing that I use a lot is one-on-one presentations with people, and using the tools of the flip chart and the PowerPoint presentation that we have available to us. Because when I sit down and do a one-on-one, I think the biggest benefit of doing that is it immediately allows you to start building a relationship with that person, and that's what Veridian is all about, is building relationships and building a community with someone. And I like to do that on a more intimate level. That's why I like one-on-ones. Also, I personally prefer to do it with someone next to me, so I'm always teaching and always coaching someone at the same time that I might be bringing a new person onto that presentation into Veridian. And really, I like to do that relationship building with we have the two sides of showing Veridian, where you have the technological side of maybe having a PowerPoint on a computer or an iPad or something like that, and then also having the flip chart and a small brochure. Because you really want to be comfortable in a one-on-one setting, and I think all the tools allow us to really do that and present Veridian in the best way possible.
Absolutely. I couldn't agree more. And we utilized all of our top leaders in putting together this process so that there would be tools that you could use in different situations. And so they are created with the intent that one tool isn't perfect for every single situation. And so it's just working with your up team to get an understanding of what's best at what particular time. So Joe, now you do things a little bit differently because, some people do go to restaurants. They find other locations to bring together small groups. You personally do have an office, but that doesn't mean anybody has to have one, but it's something to work for if that works out for you. So tell us a little bit about how you and your business partner make this work.
Again, it's all about showing the program to as many people as possible. And whether it's, your own personal associates that you're trying to show the plan to, or your associate's potential prospect. And to me, I'm not really busy in this business. I'm not growing my business unless I'm showing the program. And again, eventually people are going to get tapped out. They're going to show it to their 15 or 20 closest business professionals or family and friends. And what's great about that is once half of them or all of them join, you want to show it to their associates and prospects and so forth. So you just want to keep growing the business and growing the business. And I keep telling my people that if you don't have appointments to show the program today, tomorrow, and next week, that your business is not going to grow.
Well, and I know you also use a video that you like to show, and what the benefit of using that particular tool. It will come in this Business Builder Kit box. Why do you kind of like the plug-and-play approach?
Well, I'm a big believer in the plug and play and have a third-party person for Q&A and verification on hand. So the way I teach the model is to just, have someone sit down, hit play, and when they're done with that video, whether it's a 5-minute video or a 20-minute video, have someone on call. Set it up beforehand. Someone on your team say, hey, I'm showing the plan around noon. Are you available around 12:30? If you are, I have someone who's going to see the video and they want to have some questions for you. And what it does is it shows that person, that new person, that you don't have to be an expert in this business. It gives confidence to someone. If you're listening to this call and you've been in the business, 1 or 2 days or 1 or 2 weeks, you might be concerned that they're going to have questions that you can't answer. And what's great about having someone on standby that you could put on speakerphone, they can answer those questions. And so not only do they feel more comfortable saying, well, I get it now. The only reason why I wouldn't do this business is because I'm busy and I don't feel like I have time to learn a whole new industry. You just demonstrated that they don't really have to. All they have to do is hit play and call someone, and their business can keep growing.
Well, I think the simplicity of that is certainly what has raised, as they say, the rising tide that raises all ships. It has certainly given you and your business partner a great opportunity to get to that number one top income earning spot, just because you have made it simple and you've made it approachable for thousands and thousands of people, so tens of thousands of people actually. So Mike and Deb, you come from a really, really rich pedigree of network marketing, a lot of home presentations. You have built a business in that, very successful. You have built an incredible organization here as well at Veridian. So talk to us about kind of the smaller group and medium-large group. Just give us kind of an idea and a view into what has led to your success.
Sure, Meredith. It's all about duplication when it really comes down to, and so we use a stair-step process. And when I say that, James hit on 101, Joe hit on push and play. The bottom line is that you have people that now feel comfortable using the different tools that are available. And what it leads up to is if you have a whole bunch of people out there that are showing 101s, they can take it to another venue. Well, that venue can either, and we do a lot of in-home meetings or a larger event. But when you really think about it, there's not a lot of people out there, and it scares a lot of people to think that I have to stand up in a room of 50 to 100 people and stand in front of all that, where the middle event, the small group, the in-home, that allows people to feel comfortable. They can actually learn how to do a one-on-one, take some notes at an in-home meeting, learn that, hey, I can get in front of 2 or 3 people and be productive at the same time. So that's where that fits in. There's various different ways to do a in-home meeting. You can do it with a projector. You can do it on a TV using the PowerPoint. We like to use the non-techie version, to be honest. We use a flip chart type mat. And the reason for that is because as people are looking at it, they can look at that and say, you know what, I can do that. And they don't have to worry about using a high-tech way of doing it, although a lot of people are real comfortable with a laptop. So when we set up our in-home meetings, that's our focus. Can somebody duplicate what we're looking at? I mean, it was John D. Rockefeller said he'd rather have 1% of 100 people's efforts than 100% of their own. And so that's the whole goal. Where the rubber meets the road, can people step up and go from a one-on-one to a next step of a venue in-home, and then from there progress to where they can use the larger events, even if they're not comfortable doing themselves, but get people to the bigger picture. So again, we use a stair-step model to do that.
And I think that what's important here for the listeners is just, again, trying to broaden their mind to understand how flexible this business can be, but know that there is deep training that goes with each one of these steps. So, again, if it's, what James was talking about, sitting down, doing a face-to-face, whether it's just you and that person or you've brought in, a friend or someone else in the business with you so that you've got a couple people there, whether you, start using kind of the plug-and-play approach or whether you go to presentations where you're actually working off of a flip chart or off of a projector, no matter which direction that you're going, again, there are very clear guidelines and steps, and your UP team will be available to help you understand how to do those, when's best to apply them. I think that the big key that I would just say at this point is it is all about team. You are not in this alone. You are in business for yourself, but you are not in business by yourself. And that, of course, is one of the beauties, in that you have all of these lovely people who are waiting, to help you achieve your dreams and your successes. So kind of shifting gears here a little bit. So we get to the end, and whichever presentation you've chosen, whichever your UP team has recommended, and you've been coached appropriately and you've applied, there comes this point at the end of the presentation of the decision, which I think for a lot of people can be a little intimidating, because now they actually need to ask for something. And so this piece of the training, I think is very important to understand. Deb, you and your husband really represent such a great part of this business, which is it's an opportunity for couples to succeed together and have a common goal and a common direction in life, and it's a beautiful thing. But you are a great person at the end of the events that gets a high percentage of people who come on board. What do you think really your key to success as being a quote-unquote closer, but we'll call you a soft, gentle closer, because that really doesn't apply to how you do it. Deb, fill us in.
Basically, if I'm looking at like Mike said, most of our meetings are going to be home programs, and I'm getting in the, kitchen, for lack of a better word, with the lady or man afterwards, and I'm just kind of going to keep the conversation on the business presentation that we just showed them, and just kind of walk around the room and keep my ears open, and basically just kind of hone in on a few people and start listening. And I'm going to share my story with them. I like to share what I saw when I, saw the program the first time, and what made me make my decision, what I saw in the business, and kind of do a feel, felt, sound kind of model with them. And then truthfully, and this is hard for a woman to do, I just shut up and listen. And really what I'm listening for is, what do they say next to me? And when that comes to be, I listen for a few minutes, and then I can hone in on, what they're saying back to me, and, answer their questions if they have any, maybe share some more about how I felt, and just basically listening to them, get excited about what they saw, and leading them to the next path, and being able to answer some basic questions for them and see where they want to go with this program.
Gotcha. And James, you as well, very, very effective running down the home stretch. After you've done a great deal of listening and understanding where they're coming from, what next steps do you take?
The phrase that I always tend to use with people is, what did you like best about the presentation? What attracted you the most about it? Was it becoming the customer part, going green, saving money, earning income, and really finding out what they liked best about it, and then really capitalizing on that and finding out what their next step would like to be. If they really were attracted to going green, I'll ask them, well, what about it was attractive to you? I mean, are you a green person? Is that something that's a part of your life? If it's earning income, well, why is that attractive to you? Why would you want to earn that income? Is there something that you're working towards? You have a goal that you're going, I need to make an extra $500 a month, or whatever that is, and then finding out what the next step is going to be after that. Is it getting to a one-on-one meeting? Is it getting started? Is it getting to the next event? Is it getting maybe on a throughway call? So it's just finding out what that next step is and what attracted them about the business.
Great, that's perfect. I love that. So we've kind of walked through what we have available as far as events and tools. So important that you use those, tapping in, making sure you're listening, being relevant to individual people. Asking what is it that we need to, where do we need to go from here? Do you need to build their belief a little bit more by bringing in a third party? Just lots of steps that you can take at this point. But I think that the most important thing of all is just to roll up your sleeves and get ready and get in there. And Joe, would you like to go ahead and close out our training here with a little bit of words of wisdom coming from the man right now at the very top?
Oh, thank you. And keep in mind, just want to let you know that I was the guy for the last 20 years who would not consider network marketing. I was the guy who people would come to all the time and say, thanks, but no thanks, it's not for me. But I really dug into green energy so that this really made sense for me. So that a lot of first-timers, a lot of people who've never done network marketing are very, very open to this. And a lot of times it's just logic. I mean, I explain to them that, listen, you realize that hundreds and hundreds of thousands of people are going to choose a third-party supplier in the next couple of years. I mean, this is a fact. Whether you want to join Veridian or not, you are eventually going to become a customer, whether it's today or, next year. And people are going to start saying, stop complaining about the price of gasoline, stop complaining about this, and you're wasting money every month on your electric bill. So when you explain to them that it's an education process, it's not a sell, and that there's 90-something% of the people in your backyard are going to choose a company like this, I don't really say, do you think I basically say, do you think you'd be good at this? Because I kind of just assume that, I basically say, you understand that this is going to happen, and Veridian is going to be a billion-dollar company. Do you have what it takes to move forward?
Very well. Well, thank you, guests. Thank you, Joe Occhio-Grosso. Thank you, Mike and Deb Mazzero. And thank you, James Lenhart. And to all of our listeners, I think the key takeaway here is just show it. We'll see you at the next event.